I wonder what do you think would be the most exciting use cases for value among the ones we've mentioned? Like podcasting maybe has a head start today, but there's podcasting, there's general like blog posts, there's YouTube, there's Twitter, there's all sorts of avenues for this. Are there any particular ones you guys are excited about?
I mean, I think podcasting has shown that greatly and has a great adoption there, which is super cool. What I think is that like typically monetization for digital content is always kind of hard, right? Because anything digital is always just a copy. The reproduction costs of anything goes down to zero more or less. So I can, if I download an MP3, whatever that is, it's always just an identical copy. That's the same for a blog post or an article. So it's always an identical copy. It's easy to reproduce. It's easy to spread out. That's why it's quite hard to put good content, I guess, behind typical paywalls. Because the paywall can be worked around or can be hacked around because somebody always just has a copy. I can pirate it. I can just upload it somewhere else. I can send it to you via email. It's all fine. And I think the value for value idea there is that is matching way better than typical to anything digital to content, just because it respects that information wants to be free. It respects that information can easily be copied. So if we make the payments for that as easy as the copying of the content itself, and this is what we can do now with the Lightning Network, I think this can become way more widely adopted for the publishers, but also obviously then for the users. Like the feedback that we are getting is that is quite good, that a lot of people are quite interested in especially supporting their creators. And basically that's why I also like the name value for value, because you get a lot of value from any creator. And now with one click, you basically can say thank you and give some value back and allow creators to continue creating the great stuff. Particular, I'm quite interested in seeing that obviously for also written content for blog posts, as you mentioned before, which goes in the direction of also, I would say, journalism. That for good articles, people are able to say thank you and pay the creators directly for that, the journalists directly for that. Bands, music, for music streams in that sense, for example. I think it's a perfect match. But I think it also goes further than that. For example, as you mentioned, if somebody has a problem that I can share in a forum, and somebody helps me solving it, and now as it becomes easy, sending money back, that's quite helpful. So for example, also Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is a nice example for developers, where you often say thank you. And it would be great to leave a few sets there if somebody answered a complicated question for one person and it's now answered for a lot of people. I think a lot of the people would just say thank you. Here are a few sets for that.
Yeah. What I also find very interesting is if you can, and that's what also we were working on with this meta tech, because it's extendable basically. It's like implementing cascading payments. So not only that the immediate publisher gets paid, but all other all contributors to this final piece of content, they also get some fraction that is like individually determined by the publisher, for example, or in another way. And this is something that gets very, very interesting once this picks up a bit, right? Because then you have incentives totally aligned down the line from every producer to the final content consumer. We also thinking about how we can enable these cascading payments, for example, with Lightning addresses. This could be, for example, a additional service that we provide with together with the get Alby Lightning address. So if you get on getalby.com/lightning -address, then you can create your own Lightning address. And this in the future, for example, maybe there is a way that you can configure your own Lightning address in a way that people who contributed or helped you on creating this piece of content can also earn some sats.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. That's something that that's one feature wish list for me on podcasting. I know the Fountain team's working hard on it, but I would love the ability to, have a conversation with you guys and have you just send me over your Fountain username or something, or some like human readable name. Maybe it's a Lightning address, maybe it's just a Fountain name, and I can instantly insert it into the show, give you guys a split, instantly insert a producer and have them get a split. And, Fountain can insert themselves, Podcast Index, who supports the kind of like API and allows Fountain to build out the app. They can get a split. And it's like all the way down the line, every single payment that comes into the show, then everyone can see beforehand that it's getting split among all these different parties. I think that's really cool. And it probably starts to change the relationship that some forms of creators have with their third parties. Like right now, two specifically that I'm thinking of is like publishers, book publishers. So if I'm an author, I typically work with a publisher. There's some kind of relationship and there's some kind of like fixed and variable costs that come from books, and depending on how many you sell, they may take a certain cut. You could like standardize that across the entire book selling experience, where it's just like every dollar that flows in, we're just gonna instantly send out funds to both parties. Same with music and music labels and artists. Yep. You have like all these complex relationships they're kind of like vague. No one really knows who's getting the money. But it'd be so cool if you could just, if a musician that you wanted to support, you could see right on their profile, if I pay 1 million sats to this musician, 584,312 are going to go to the musician, 213,000 are going to go here. It's just like you can just watch it move. It's crazy. I think that'd be like an enormous boost for all sorts of industries.